Rob Andrade, Siemens Building Technologies Building Automation Division, the Seattle branch. We're here to talk a little bit about the selection process for our CO2 sensors, which is the AirTest product that you see here. It's been quite a long, hard road for us to come to this product. With the Seattle schools in the infancy of demand-controlled ventilation, about 4 years back, we started the process of sticking CO2 sensors into the schools, typically in common areas, gyms, cafeterias, with the idea being that initially that it would be for liability reasons, people always wanting to know, especially in schools, what air quality is. Air quality is a big thing here in Seattle. Now we're starting to understand a little bit more about what we can do with the energy side of it. And we've gone through 2 different iterations of products that we've actually installed at Seattle schools and summarily had to remove. Earlier this year, February of this year, in fact, after about 9 months of just testing and finding all the information we could. Major problems involve calibration. Now everybody says, well, we've got 5 years before you need to calibrate these things. And what we saw was they could be out of cal in as little as 6 days, 6 weeks. Rarely did they last 6 months. And then it was the type of calibration that was involved. The factory would send out these gas kits, and we'd go and and it just seemed so inexact. It could not have been a precise science. And we'd be able to get them in cal. They'd last again, some would go out within days, some would take as long as 6 months. But at the end of a 2-year run with the latest ones, not one of them was still calibrated. So that was about 41 sensors that we'd installed over a short period of time that we had to remove. The customer truly experienced a real crisis of confidence in what he was seeing, and we couldn't back it up. Talking with the guys at Global Controls, who had worked with our company in the past on garage ventilation systems, CO monitoring. We happened to talk about CO2, and they, clued me in on this, this AirTest sensor, and showed me lots of data. At this point, of course, I'm completely skeptical of anything because, everybody promised me everything will work, and it just didn't. We took a look at these sensors. We installed one way back last year in, I believe it was October, November timeframe in one of our new building excellence schools, and just kept trend logging and got weeks worth of data there. And then we asked for information about, historical information on the sensor. And we got the information that, hey, your counterparts, Siemens Europe, they've been using these things for a long time now. Siemens Asia, these things are in. But the clincher was the trend and historical data from a school in Sweden that showed that these sensors had been in since '93 and, in fact, still hadn't required calibration. And looking at the stability of these things. What it entailed ultimately was a lesson in NDIR technology from the supplier, in this case Global Controls. We got them to get in front of commissioning agents, which ultimately we've got to get past to get the building certified, and engineering firms in and around the area, as well as in front of our other controls colleagues in the area, because it doesn't matter who's selling it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't benefit anybody. It's a general level of education that we've all received on how this works, why this particular one works differently, or at least better than the others, and what we can expect when we see the state-of-the-art progress. After looking at all of the trend data, we decided to go with this. We hadn't even gotten a firm commitment from the last supplier that we dealt with that they would provide compensation. I was not concerned about that. I just needed a sensor that worked. So we removed the 41 and in short order installed all of these. And to this day, we have not had any issue. The customer is happy with it, happy enough to speak on its behalf and get other of our customers to understand that, hey, we finally got something that's cost effective that we can actually get to work. But the fact that it's temperature as well as CO2 could have significant impacts in the future. But it's worked spectacularly for us. So there's as far as we're concerned, we've got something that works, something that's cost effective, so we're ready to push it.